In 2007, a number of shocking incidents across Minneapolis resulted in the deaths of teenagers and even preteens, the victims of deadly gun violence perpetrated by youth. Yo the Movement and Phillips Community Television, two Minneapolis youth service agencies, joined forces to interview over 60 young people throughout the city to get their views on why violence is happening, and to ask how city and county policymakers could take steps to solve the serious problem that is affecting our communities. This is what they had to say.
Violence has affected my life kind of grandly recently because my brother, he was murdered last year in Minneapolis.
At South, which is the high school I attend, last year 2 young men were killed by guns. Both incidents were gang related.
Personally, I have good friends who are locked up for life who have murdered people. I know people who have been shot, who have been stabbed.
The gangs were fighting at a party, and two gangs then, rival gangs shot each other, at each other, and killed a girl.
Seen a lot of drive-by shootings and just senseless acts of violence just in the parks where things are supposed to be safe for kids. I've seen just bad stuff happening, and it's no longer safe for kids there.
I got a friend, Eric. He got beat in the alley and left for dead,
4th of July, we thought it was fireworks, but it wasn't, and police didn't respond. They responded after it happened, after the kid had died.
What happened was he went with some friends and they started arguing, and then he got shot. Wasn't really planned or anything, but he just said the wrong thing to him.
Well, actually, a couple weeks ago, there was actually a shooting outside of my window. My window's in the front of my house, and there were 15 police cars right outside my house on my block because of some drug bust, and there was 2 gunshots fired.
There was phone calls, basically the whole neighborhood called, saying that things were getting out of hand at the party, and the police just wouldn't come until they heard gunshots.
I was just walking back from the park with my friend, and 2 kids just walked up behind me and just blindsided me, and I got knocked out, and they just started beating me up and took my wallet and stuff.
I had a friend sophomore year who we were close, so close. And then when I was a junior, last year, he got shot.
I'm a senior now. I've lost 4 or 5 classmates being killed out on the street.
Well, me personally, I'm from gangs myself, and people start going crazy. People die because other people die. And just, it's messed up.
There's so many gangs out there, and there's a lot of feuds, a lot of fights, and guns definitely aid to what's going on with that stuff.
Things they hear in rap songs, they think it's so cool to be hardcore.
Oh, he's wearing red, he must be in this gang or that gang. Let's jump him. Let's see if he got any money, see if he got any drugs.
They're coming from real desperate situations where it's that's a good option rather than going supportless and hungry.
Anger and confusion, misunderstanding.
The music people listen to.
Bad parenting is one of the big causes, in my opinion.
I don't feel like kids are getting support from school, getting support from teachers and parents. Parents are raising kids pretty horrible these days.
All these barriers that people have to overcome, it really creates a lot of tension for everyone in the community.
A big part of the violence is not enough space for youth to go. I feel if we had more youth programs in that neighborhood, or just safe spaces for teens to go and hang out.
I feel in the city, a lot of different injustices go on and things like that. So people kind of just say, forget it, and I'm going to do my own thing. I'm gonna take what I want. I'm gonna have disregard for whoever is out there.
I think the availability of guns is a big problem when it comes to gun violence.
People think it's easier to shoot someone, I guess.
Hey, that's my girl. Hey, that's my boyfriend. Fighting over stupid stuff.
The reasoning for my negative behaviors in the past would probably be the lack of enthusiasm that I had for many things, and the fact that I did not feel that my attention was being grabbed by anything, and therefore As a bored kid, I had a lot of energy and I was curious, so I felt that breaking the laws gave me a rush and it was something to fill the time.
If a person don't like another person, they're gonna say, yeah, I don't like you, but they won't say it to their face. They'll talk to somebody else, then someone will tell that person, they'll get back to them, then they might deny it, then it comes into a fight, and it just gets worse.
Unfortunately, our world revolves around money, and people who don't have a lot of it don't know how to get more of it if they aren't. Maybe the only way they know how is trying to, use violence to try to get it.
If you see somebody rob somebody and get money because they have a gun, you might want to have a gun and get money too, so.
It's all about the power,
Invest in education and educational opportunities for those who need them.
Put more money into the city schools because education is definitely the most important thing for teenagers.
Put more laws against so kids can't be able to get guns or different kinds of weapons more easily than they can.
People who are in high-risk areas like the bad neighborhoods or come from poor families, we need to give those people opportunities so they don't end up dead or killing someone.
More money going to the community centers that help and reach out to the youth and to their parents.
Having the Franklin Library shut down for more than a year because it was being rehabbed was a big blow to the community, and that was also around the time that the Doughboys started popping up in my neighborhood. And then when the library opened up again, a lot of the kids who'd been on the street started going there again because now there were more computers and more stuff to do there. And that's just an example of how libraries and schools and community centers need more funding, and I think that with activities and places for people to go like that, that'll definitely cut down on all this violence.
Well, everybody's not going to go to college, there's other options out there, and kids, they don't see anything for themselves, so they find other things to distract themselves with, which is everyday drama in schools, violence, rumors, lies.
I think the root of most violence in poorer communities is a lack of respect for the community and a lack of respect for their neighbors. And if they had a system where they seen examples of their parents teaching them to respect their community, then that'll stop a lot of violence like that.
Start holding the cops accountable, telling them to check it all out before they start acting on their suspicions.
More cops seem like they actually care about the citizens in the city and the Minneapolis area.
Put police in places that they need to be. If you got people getting killed on 5 buses going over north and all these people packed in there and you got police on the bus, come on now, you need to put police in where they need to be at, and like when they train them for what's coming for them, but like train them not to be so stereotypical to everyone who is trying to do something and be in the right place, because they're never in the right place when something's going on. They're always there for the aftermath, or they're always trying to make up for not being there in the right place by trying to escalate something else that wasn't as bad as that or wasn't going to get that bad.
All our money for the park systems has gone to building trails and to building greenways, not the greenway, but more aesthetic beauties to add to the veneer of the city for those coming in to buy condos, for those to add population to bring in the young business people with money to come to our city and make it look good, while our park centers where the kids live who need a place to go because their parents at work are closed because they can't stay open for the hours. The parks by my house, they're never open. And how can we expect kids, to be doing anything productive with their time if they don't have the programs and a space to live in? So they need to put more money into the park systems, and not the park systems for the aesthetic value. The park system gives kids programs, give kids a place to express themselves, a place to learn, a place to recreate.
It's hard for older kids too, we aren't attracted to little kid fun anymore, so we kind of need to reach out to older kids too, because that's where the problem starts, 16, 17.
If the community comes together, I feel like obviously the youth is the next generation and they're going to be teachers of tomorrow, and as long as we can come together and make sure that they're growing up in safe environments and they want a safe environment, and that's what's gonna come in the future. Because right now a lot of youth is getting involved with the wrong crowd, and not having that support weighs a lot.
This is the first time anyone's ever asked me personally what I think should be done about the violence, and it affects all of us, so I think they should be asking us kids when we're being directly affected by it, losing our classmates and our friends. They should be asking us, and this should be happening more.